Melodrama was popular. Um, it brought in a lot of audience, it brought in money, and it was very entertaining. Um, One interesting thing that came about, in addition to all of this wonderful stuff that was happening on stage with scenery, etc., was the invention of something called the limelight, which was a spotlight. This was the first spotlight. You have to understand, stage lighting has not caught up for obvious reasons, but stage lighting was minimal. It was actors had to find the spot with the light in it to be seen. So having something like a spotlight that could actually shine a beam of light on an actor was very, very special. The only thing that really eclipsed or exceeded the popularity of melodrama was the silent movie. Once that happened, it was cheaper, for one thing, for people to attend. As well, it took the audience to that exotic location that theaters were trying to achieve on stage. We're in the middle of the 1800s now, and up to this point, the Bible was the source of truth for everyone, basically. We believed it. And it was the standard by which everything had to rate. Um, but we are going to experience a shift in thinking, and how human beings consider themselves in the world, relationships to each other, to society, to God, all of that. Two scientific advancements happened during the 1800s that had an impact on just about everything. The first, of course, is Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, um, on the origin of species. His book caused a lot of uh, intellectual conflict, emotional, spiritual. It was considered blasphemous. It was not acceptable. However, there were people who accepted it, understood it, and believed it to be possible, that there is a common source that we all evolve from. It was evolution, not creation. That was the first. The second was Sigmund Freud's theory of personality. Up to this point, we just thought that people were either good or bad. Any underlying cause to some unusual or violent behavior had to be physical. There was some physical reason for this person behaving that way. There was never any consideration of separating the mind from the body, and that the mind was an entity that needed to be explored and researched and treated. So these two advancements had an impact, like I said, on just about everything, but artists, theater artists in particular. One playwright, a Norwegian playwright by the name of Henrik Ibsen, um, was what is known as the leader of a movement known as realism. Realism. inspired, influenced certainly by these scientific advancements. The realists in theater believed that character was determined by heredity and environment. Sigmund Freud believed that, left up to our own devices, the human animal would be concerned with two things: food and reproduction, survival and reproduction. Every other thing, every other quality about a human being has to be learned. We have to be socialized. We have to learn right from wrong. Um, this way of thinking influenced literature, art, all of it. But in terms of theater, we can see the belief that character is determined by heredity and environment in Henrik Ibsen's play A Doll's House. I will post today a video of a performance of A Doll's House that is um, quite good. But it is an interesting story. I want to challenge you to consider it, explore it, take a look at it. But what was most um, significant about this play is the way the play portrayed women, especially one woman who defied and went against all of the rules of that period of the 19th century, at a time when women had no real strong place in society. They were subservient. Women were married to men. Men took care of women. Women acting independently of men was something that was frowned upon. And Ibsen's play, A Doll's House, has a character that does just that. For that reason, the play was protested. The audiences did not appreciate the way Ibsen portrayed this woman and her choice at the end of the play, something to consider. Realism uh, intensified. If we take a story like a story in the realistic tradition and we intensify it, we get naturalism. Naturalism is a more intense form of realism. If, for example,